Hi, my name is Megan and I'm the Children's Director here at Bellingham Covenant Church. Today I want to share with you a story from the Book of Belonging, which is a children's Bible written by Mariko Clark, pictures by Rachel Eleanor. Jesus became quite famous, not in the worldwide way you may think of, but in the way of small towns and irrepressible goodness. The way the best bakery in the valley becomes famous. The way the most beautiful sunrise view in the foothills becomes famous. People could not help but bubble over with the good news of what Jesus was doing. At the wells, in the marketplace, through the vineyards, and under the stars, stories and whispers flew. And people began to flock to Jesus, like birds riding a warm wind. They brought him their sick friends to be healed. They waited to hear his teaching. They repented, returning to God and believing in their true names. Crowds covered the hillsides around where he stayed, made up of all kinds of different people. The sick, the scandalous, the poor, the pagan, the pious. People who would never, ever be seen together found themselves drawn to the same place for the same reason: Jesus. On one particular day, the disciples were looking at the crowd, and Jesus was looking at the disciples. He saw their eyes jumping from person to person, naming them in their minds: nobodies, mess-ups, heathens, failures, rule breakers, outsiders. Jesus sighed. We all know that it's hard to remember or believe who God says you are when other people are always calling you something different. This is why words and names are so important. Some of the stickiest names are the ones that convince us we don't belong with God. Names that really just mean outsider. But Jesus knew that in God's dream, nobody is treated as an outsider. God had always been telling God's people to trust God's names for them first, to invite others in, to care for the forgotten, and give them new names like belonging, beloved, and delightful. God made people to be like little mirrors, to reflect what God is like and to act like God in the world. And now Jesus would remind them about the lives for which they were made. God's kingdom was spilling in, but it was going to look so much different than even Jesus' closest friends expected. So Jesus smiled and spoke gently to these friends, showing them how things were going to be. See these people? Their spirits are begging, he said, gesturing to the ragtag crowd. And God is for them. God is for the sad, the gentle, and the searching. And to the people living in the small towns and villages, suffering under the Roman power machine, Jesus' message felt like the best hope they had experienced in a long time. Like a waft of warm bread first thing in the morning, like the first glimmer of sunrise over the foothills. It felt like goodness was peeking in at last, and they couldn't help but share.